deja vu. I'm saying probably similar things every week. We started off terrific, first 15, 20 minutes, probably searching into the first 30 minutes. I thought we dictated the game, the tempo was good, attacking was good, movement was good, but then we don't score. You're dominating games, you don't score. And then second half, it looked like we put a different team out of the park, same bodies, but a different team out on the field in the second half, and the game was over within 7 minutes. And in reality, we were lucky to get away 2-0 at the end. So, and again, it's just down to our frailties. So for 10, 15, particularly 10, 15, 20 minutes of the first half, we pounded away at their goal, and they defended for dear life. In the first 7 minutes of the second half, our defending's embarrassing. Our lack of willingness to actually just simply defend is just so poor. And then we go into a malaise where nobody seems to be able to get the team, pick them up and get us back in the game. And to be honest, I would, for most of that second half performance, I'd apologise to the crowd for coming and keeping supporting us, because our team on the field didn't deserve that support second half. It was extremely poor. Somebody must have drugged them at half time. Did somebody put something in the water at half time? That's probably all I could say. Jordan, I wish I knew. I really wish I knew. The game, I thought by the end of the first half, the game was sort of nicely balanced. We knew it was going to be tight. And then just suddenly there's 2 goals from, you think, well, where did those 2 goals suddenly come from? And it's just, I honestly, genuinely, I do not know the answer. I don't know the answer. I know that we've got a whole lot of perceived star players, but to be honest, the second half was abysmal in every regard. And I'm lost. I'll obviously watch the video, see if there's any specific things, but you can't do basic fundamental things well enough in a professional league with a team full of international players. Then there's something wrong. And this was a huge game for us tonight. And I don't mind if we win or lose games. You just never know how a game's going to work out. But I didn't see anything in that second half to really give me much cheer. No, I mean, we did our normal sessions during the week. The team, we can't turn around here and say we're poorly prepared. I would love to say this happened maybe during the week, or that happened during the week, which disrupted our training, or we maybe trained too hard, or we maybe didn't train hard enough. But that's that would be just a nonsense. The team, we've got good backup support. We've got staff that look into our training loads. We've got a masseur on hand. We've got a setup where our players get the breakfast before training. They get their lunch after training. I can't turn around and say we're struggling because of this or because of that. There's absolutely no excuse in the world. We're playing. It was a cup final tonight, and you've got to turn up in the cup final. And if you've got big players need to turn up. It's as simple as that. And everybody else needs to turn up as well. And we did for 30 minutes. And then we go into, I don't know, we get into a malaise. I wish I knew that. I really genuinely wish I knew the answer. I don't. Probably similar to what I'm saying here. I basically said we just weren't good enough. That at times like this, because what can happen in times like this is players start looking at, well, I couldn't do this because this wasn't happening here, and I couldn't do that because that wasn't happening here, and blah blah. And I basically said, what you guys need to do is go home and actually look in the mirror and see who's there first, and see what you could have done. And I just said, second half we weren't good enough, and in every aspect of our game. And I would like to be positive. I'm not particularly. I don't think I'm a negative guy. You can shake your head there. I don't think I'm a negative guy. I think I'm kind of, for a Scotsman, I'm pretty upbeat. I'm not like a Scottish Presbyterian, who you know, if the sun's out one day and said we're going to pay for that tomorrow. I think I've got a decent sense of perspective on things, but it was very trying tonight, and I just basically pointed that out to the team. But that's how the Portland play, and that's how our league is. And the reality of being a footballer, whatever at the highest level, that's a critical part of the game, and you can't get muscled out of the game. Or if you get muscled out of the game, you're not going to win games. And that again was, you know, partly what we were up against in there tonight. And that's, as I say, how Portland play. But you've got to get in, you've got to tackle people, you've got to get in people's face, you've got to put pressure in people. And, you know, as I say, especially in the second half, we just didn't do that. And as I say, I don't know why. I really don't know why. But as is Portland are a physical team, as is North Carolina, as is Chicago, as is all the teams at the top of the league. So you've got two ways of beating teams. You either have to match that physically, or you have to be good enough footballers to be able to play around it. And at the moment, you know, our displays have shown that we're not good enough to do either of those in a consistent basis for 90 minutes. Well, what happens is, Shane, when things start to go wrong, is that players start to lose a bit of confidence. They're frightened to take a touch, they're frightened to do things, so they tend to second guess themselves, they tend to get to things a little bit later than they normally would. And so you end up either taking an extra touch, or you end up being too slow to release the ball. And then, you know, you keep either getting caught in possession, or you keep ending up passing the ball away. And that's kind of what happens. No, our first 30 minutes were great. We did everything that we can do with this team. As I say, our movement was good, our tempo was good. I don't know how many corners we had in the first 30 minutes, but we probably had about, I don't know, 8 or 10. I can't remember. We put balls in the box. We get players on the end of things. It was really good. But the sign of a winning team is you've got to be able to do that and either score during that period of time, or have enough level of concentration, discipline, call it whatever you like, to then make sure you don't cough up cheap goals at the other end when the other team have a little bit of pressure. And unfortunately, we're kind of caught in that situation at the moment where we're not scoring, and then we're giving up really cheap goals. Well, why would we do that? Because we dominated most of the first half. Yeah. So the system wasn't causing us a problem in the first half. We did it later in the game because you're chasing the game, but that's because of giving up easy goals. So, you know, I don't think it was the system to blame, because it wasn't like we played the system and we were all over the place. For, as I say, that for particularly first 30 minutes, and then for the rest of the first half, we looked comfortable in the system. You know, I thought particularly Kristen Edmonds and Ali Krieger did a fantastic job against Tobin Heath and Klingenberg. They basically weren't in the game for the first half. So, you know, it's easy to sort of say, well, you know, the system, we changed this or changed that. I don't really think, you know, if we can't organise a short corner, we can't get proper positions in the box for a ball coming in, don't matter what system you play. Everybody, to be honest. I mean, it's okay to say, well, it's Craig's job or Marta's job or Alex's job. It's everybody. It's not one person. It's everybody. Everybody's got to step up and chip in. You know, it's not down to one person. And we've got enough experience for people. I mean, who does it for Portland? Who steps up for Portland? Tobin Heath, Christine Sinclair, Haran, Sonnet. You can name 5 or 6 of them. We need 5 or 6 of our guys to step up.